So we'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, I have minutes for February 27th meeting. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and second. All those, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, we'll go with OPM report.
Well, we have some bills. You wanna do the bills?
Oh, yeah.
So we have 3 bills this month. This is Fontaine's application for payment number 2. And again, if you remember last month, there was 75 pages, and I just gave you the cover page and the summary. Again, if you would like the full invoice, I can email that to everybody, but
Yeah, well, why don't
save
we-
some trees.
Why don't we do that instead of printing it? Just email it every month to everyone, so they'll have a record of it.
Okay, so I'll have Susan distribute it electronically,
Yeah.
but only put in the summary
Right,
in
exactly.
the packet. Okay, so this is Fontaine's application for payment number 2. It's in the amount of $429,178.65. It equals about 4% complete for the project. Do you want to do them all at once, or?
Yeah, can you go through them all at once and then I'll
Sure.
make a motion separately?
So we have a Strategic Building Solutions invoice. That's for our OPM services. So this is for the month of February in the amount of $42,921.50. It's invoice 20566. And then the third invoice we have is for construction administration services for SMMA. It's invoice 48570, and that's in the amount of $48,235.15. That includes a consultant that's been on site and the hazardous materials consultant that's been on site as well.
Do you have a motion to approve the bills?
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
No.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
So can you, sign this one and I'll take the card? Please, and thank you. You want me to sign it?
Yeah, that's the one they gave me.
Oh, okay, in the background?
Holy cow.
I'll just take all mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we, I didn't have a discussion previously, but the selectman's office should have all the background.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So is Susan?
I have sent the invoice,
You've already,
the
and
full invoice electronically to Susan, so, and to
she's on
Holly.
vacation.
And to Holly.
Okay, so
Holly's on the
Holly already
distribution.
has all that?
Yeah, so this was sent out,
What I mean is, for Fontaine,
yeah,
Holly already has all that?
yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I don't have to ask you that anymore.
No, once I send it in, I send it to both of them.
Carter? Okay. Thank you.
What we haven't talked about, really haven't gotten into detail, is just a financial report on the project, so as we go, we'll get into, are with things. I do have something that is a little bit difficult to read. So this is what got sent in to the MSBA on a monthly basis and gives them the summary of the project and where we are finances wise.
Thanks.
So we haven't, we do need to amend the budget based on the way the bids have come in. But so this budget is based on the project funding agreement, so the pre-bid number. But if you look at column A, it's your project funding agreement that was from November of 2015. And so you'll see at the bottom of that, it's $47,563,000. I would have to borrow some guy's glasses.
Yeah, maybe we can do it on a couple pages.
Yeah, so the invoices to date is at the bottom of column B. So invoices for the project, 4.1 million. What we've encumbered, so what we've either contracted for or we haven't necessarily paid for yet, but what we've contracted for is 38.6 million. So there's a number of things that we're going to be contracting as we go. For instance, materials testing services, we kind of pay as we go service, and there's other items like that. So we'll kind of encumber some along the way. Invoice this period is the bottom of column D. So this period depends upon what got entered in when the invoices came in, but this was for February. It was $94,000. So obviously the Fontaine's invoice didn't make it into this reporting. It would be in the next one. And then E is encumbered this period. So we haven't had any new contracts or haven't encumbered any additional expenses this month. And then F and G are the MSBA, you'll remember there's the budget, then there's eligible costs for reimbursement. So not the town gets a reimbursement percentage based on eligible costs. Well, not everything is eligible. So we do our best to try and anticipate what those costs are. And then G is to try and calculate to the best that we can what we think the reimbursement would be. So of the 4.1 million that's been invoiced to date, we're showing about 3.6 that is eligible for reimbursement, and of that 3.6, are roughly 2.3 which would be reimbursed. So it changes as we go. The MSBA, as they audit, may say that something that we've entered in as fully eligible isn't fully eligible, and so we'll adjust as we go. There's a final audit at the end of the project. The MSBA stops reimbursing the district at 95% of the grant. So if you get up to that point, they'll hold any further reimbursements until the final audit is done, which is basically a year after the project is done. It takes a long time to close out. Part of that is the 10-month commissioning, the commissioning that the MSBA hires a separate firm to test and check things out, but they have to come back 10 months after the building opens and just make sure everything is still working. And so you can't close a project out before you get that final commissioning certificate. So it's a long process, but we'll try and keep you informed of what we think the reimbursement to the town is. Any questions about any of this?
I do. So you're saying that the MSBA eligible project costs to date are what you think are eligible?
Well, that's based on line items that we have, that we've agreed to on the project funding agreement of what is reimbursable. So for instance, there might be a line item for OPM services that there's an exclusion of a certain amount because it goes over a cap, let's say. Just kind of using just some other project histories, just as an example. And we wouldn't know necessarily when they're going to apply that. They might just, sometimes they do their own allocations within these categories of, you know what, we're gonna say, of this bill, we're gonna say 10,000 of that is ineligible. We have
Is
100,000 that we're gonna say is ineligible over the course of that contract.
So then the calculated MSBA reimbursement is less because they say, nope.
Well, no, the calculated
don't-
reimbursement is because you're getting a percentage of
60.
eligible items. You're not
60.
getting 100% of eligible, you're getting,
62 or
62.
whatever it is. something like
Yeah.
that, Whatever.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear on what was said, that's all.
yeah,
Okay.
it gets kind of confusing, and this number will shift.
Like, I
but-
understood about the 63%, but then when you were speaking, I was like, oh, wait, I just wanted to be clear, thank you.
Yeah, no, and I wanna make sure people remember what we
Yep.
talked about along the way, and that
Yep.
we'll keep this, we'll be putting this in front of you, if not monthly, on a regular basis, so that
Yep.
everybody sees that, and obviously, Carter, you'll be in the loop on any
Okay, great.
cash flow.
Oh, Hank signed it, I
forecasts
was
and
just
so
forth. Yeah, no, just
leaving it
looking
for
at
Carter.
Yeah,
Okay.
So is, any other questions about the finances? Basically, we're under budget, so things are good.
Don't say nothing. That's good.
Yeah, don't.
Why are you looking at me? Why are you always looking at me?
Don't bring up any numbers, okay? He said we're under budget, so let's
So-
let it ride.
I'm just saying that so far, well, to date, we haven't had to have any change orders, no? Or Hank and I have not had to meet with.
Well, and that's something that's good to say. Even if we had change orders, that doesn't mean we're over budget.
Right.
No, I'm
we
just saying we
have-
haven't,
Yeah, we've done very well. Matt will get into really what's going on site. Not a whole heck of a lot just yet in abatement. We have had some additional abatement, but we've had some things that they didn't have to abate. So we have to kind of
You talking about that mastic on the wall? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Think it brought up.
So we'll have a number, we'll settle out, because they were contractually obligated to remove a certain amount of this, and if they came up with less, then we'll get a credit back.
Yeah, okay.
So there will be some back and forth, but no, we're doing very well. But we will have change orders along the way. We have a contingency that we'll draw down to pay for those changes if and when they come up. But big picture, you'll remember that our bids came in very favorable, well below our estimates, so we're below budget.
Good. Very good.
So, Matt, why don't you talk a little bit about what has been going on out in the field?
Well, basically, the old school is no more. There's only a little bit of the foundation left in the corner and northwest corner to be taken away. It could be gone by tomorrow if they get enough trucks. And then probably next week, the contractor, the site contractor will start installing the water infiltration basin that goes in there, storage for the overflow. We poured 69 yards of concrete today for footings up in Building B. That's that little sketch on the back of the report, yellow highlighting. You know, they wanted to do it yesterday, but it was just a little bit too cold, so we geared up for doing it today. And, so that's moving along. They're gonna continue digging for footings and just pushing along. This concrete crew was pretty energetic and, you know, interested in pumping out the work, so that's going well. Earthwork would be mainly when they start the drainage basins, you know, and digging for footings. All of the, for the most part, all of the unsuitable materials is gone, been replaced by structural fill, all compacted in place and tested. Going forward, it's gonna be, hopefully at the end of this week, they're saying the playground will be gone. That's weather dependent. We'll play that one by ear as we have been for the last few weeks. Like I mentioned, they're gonna start the drainage basins, continue with footings, and following up, you know, the walls, the stem walls that go above them. And, by end of this week for sure, all the old building debris will be gone. done. All that material left the job on Monday.
Okay.
And, what else is there?
I like the picture here, the wood water pipes they found.
That's amazing.
I've seen them before.
Really?
I've seen that before, but you don't see it too often. You see the picture?
No. Well, big picture, by the time we meet again, obviously, the removal of the existing building will be complete. Hopefully, we don't have any more snow next month, and we're able to, the contractor is able to make some progress with footings and foundations. So you really won't see anything coming up out of the ground for a little while. I don't know, I don't remember offhand when the
Middle of May.
Very
middle of
beginning
May,
Steel.
steel will be arriving, so, you know, everything is gonna be kind of subsurface, nothing too exciting, for the next month or so.
I have to say, a lot of people thought those orange things that were coming down the road were pretty cool. They were all guessing what they were.
It looked like some kind of Lego, you know,
Yeah.
colorful.
I'll
stackable.
stackable chairs, the new Trump wall.
Yeah,
They were, actually, I thought they were kind of cool, but
What do you refer to? I haven't been up there. What are you referring to? What were the?
for the drainage. They're
the
these really
subsurface
tall-
detention.
Culverts.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're-
infiltrators?
They were-
Yeah.
Oh,
they
they
were
stacks
so
of them, okay,
cool,
all right.
Yeah.
Old truck.
All right.
I don't know, I got kind of excited when I saw the picture.
They come in yellow too, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, there we
Well, I
go.
like the orange, so doesn't matter, they're gonna be buried.
All
And I
right.
think it's really nice.
I haven't
It's-
seen them, but I didn't know what you were talking about, okay.
No, I'm sorry, Kirk.
That's all right.
You have to get out more often.
So that's all we had. I don't know, Jen, if you had any additional info or.
Nope.
That's good.
So I guess the one thing to talk about is if we are looking at May for steel, warmer weather, it's before the kids get out of school. If you're thinking about a groundbreaking and having the kids involved, it'd probably be a good idea to do that before they get out. And that would give us enough time to hopefully, yeah, get the MSBA, get it on their schedule. I don't know if.
I thought
When
we
you
had
say-
talked about a date before.
What we did is, we talked about just a generality of time. May was
Yeah.
given March is, you know, it's a little snowy, but, May would be the optimal time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had,
Yeah.
if I remember.
We figured middle May
We
would
had
be,
That's
talked
right, yeah,
about
middle
wait
of
until
May.
you see something coming out of the
right,
ground.
it was
and
something a little bit more.
Right.
maybe a nice day kind of thing versus just celebrating a dirt pile.
Right.
Yes.
So like, I mean, you said getting the kids involved as
Yep.
far as, in what capacity?
I would think for the photo op, you know,
Just something you're gonna, like,
We've-
handpick some students or?
yeah,
or-
well, it'll be students actually who will actually be in the school. So, you know, obviously kindergarten, first grade, second, a representation of who would be there and, you know, something, we've been kind of, you know, little hats and you get it, right, so.
I mean, just do a little staging thing in the
yeah.
parking lot or something like that,
Or
someplace safe or
with the
whatever.
show, well, I'd like it with, personally, with the MSB, whoever shows. Who's able, you know, to do a kind of a group picture and, the infamous shovel, you know.
Do we have a shovel? I don't think it's in the budget, John, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sure we can.
That was part of the contract, they had to supply their own shovels.
Yes, we have some ideas, and so, you know,
We thought of everything.
as long as you'll contact the MSB. I knew that you had to get on we had to get on their calendar, but
Yeah, to put out some potential dates, we usually give them
we're
2
gonna
or
put
3
them up to
dates.
Senator
or-
Goby, of course, you know, and
I would say end of May, early June,
Yeah.
right, because the school's till what, mid-June?
yeah, we definitely wanna do it after Memorial Day, right, or before. In other words, we definitely wanna get away from that weekend. That would be, we have graduation that following
Yeah.
following
Mid-May
weekend,
probably be
but it'd be during the week, I'm quite
So he
sure,
wants to
anyway.
reach out to MSBA and
During
just
the
see where
week.
their schedule's at,
Right.
and we can
Yeah.
Work on
work.
I would say the last week of May, and I mean that loose, just because of Memorial Day weekend, but the first week of June, either way. We've talked anywhere from the middle of May
And there'll
down.
be some steel.
Whatever's good for them, we can,
Right,
then
we have to
we can
work
work
with them.
around.
Okay, I will,
Senator's office and,
I'll let you know what they come back with, and then we can go from there.
yep.
Good, Hank. Take it
that.
away.
Anything else? Wow, okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second?
All those in favor, say aye.
Sorry, I was late, I was right on time at central office,